Top 10 Most Dangerous Airports in the World. Have you ever held on to your armrest on an airplane going through a turbulence as your stomach twists, softly praying you make it through, or at least know how to open up that parachute you ever had to use? Fortunately, this isn't a frequent occurrence with destinations to which people more commonly travel. Although flying is one of the safest means of travel, many passengers suffer from a fear of flying, including myself. That said, some airport approaches are a lot more challenging than others and can turn into a terrifying experience that makes the bravest frequent flyers grip their armrests. Welcome to our channel. We bring you educative content in the most interesting and attractively visual way possible. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our videos. From mountain ranges and oceans to less than half a mile runways, here are 10 of the most dangerous airports in the world, where landings and takeoffs require extreme precision and massive pilot skill. Number 10. Paro Airport, Bhutan. What can you expect of an airport that has less than 20 pilots qualified to even land on it, sitting atop a magnificent 2,225 meters above sea level? This pilot's nightmare is surrounded by intimidating mountains approximately 5,486 meters high. In addition to rough weather conditions that do not allow for easy landing, in fact, landing is allowed only during the day. The runway is not even in clear vision of the pilot and requires the airplane to be maneuvered a steep 45 degrees before drastically dropping onto the runway. This tiny airport nestled among the steep mountains of the Himalayas is tricky, so treacherous is the landing that only 8 pilots in the world are qualified to land there. Number 9. Juanco e Uraskin. Located on the Caribbean island of Sabah, Juanco e Uraskin Airport is an airport on coast. It is widely acknowledged as the smallest airport in the world, with a very short runway, and is visited by few tourists primarily because it has no beaches. Despite the modern top layer of high quality, its length is only 396 meters, flanked on one side by high hills with cliffs that drop into the sea at both ends. Small planes arriving from St. Martin must maneuver over a small cliff and then decelerate quickly before they run out of runway. It's exciting if you're not aboard. Jounted reports that the airport hosts some of the island's best parties. Uraskin, one of the most dangerous airports in the world. If the pilot settles on a few meters, he can take the plane into the abyss. A large aircraft cannot land at this airport at all. Number 8. Courchevel Airport, France. The French Alps paint a picturesque scenery of the gorgeous frosty-tipped mountains and skiing. But if you have landed at the Courchevel Airport, the French Alps may be associated with danger in your memory. Courchevel's short 518 meters runway is a jaw-dropper. The airport is considered dangerous as it features a difficult approach, an upward-sloping runway, and ski runs in the adjacent area. The History Channel program, Most Extreme Airports, ranks it as the 7th most extreme airport in the world. In addition to this, the runway has 18.5% down gradient, which means even while taking off, the airplane must travel down the slope of the runway, making both takeoff and landing extremely dangerous. Number 7. Tenzing Hilari Airport, Nepal. Tenzing Hilari Airport in Lukla is frequently referred to as one of the most dangerous airports in the world. Arriving and departing aircraft must use a single runway at 6 of landing and 24 for takeoff. There is a low prospect of a successful go-around on short final approach due to the terrain. There's no control tower, there's no radar, there's just a short, steep runway that ends in a 9,200-foot cliff. Why does anyone risk it? Look, here's where the trail to Mount Everest begins. Climbers can fly to Lukla in 45 minutes from the capital of Kathmandu, or they can hike there in 5 days. Most choose to fly, even though the last 10 years have seen 5 separate crashes. Number 6. Cristiano Ronaldo Airport. The airport is named after Madeiran football player Cristiano Ronaldo. The History Channel program Most Extreme Airports ranked it as the 9th most dangerous airport in the world and the 3rd most dangerous in Europe. The airport is located 13.2 kilometers east-northeast of the region capital of Funchal. This airport was initially known for being dangerous because of its short runway at only 1,600 meters in length. The runway of Madeira Airport is historically a bad place to land. In 1977, a terrible accident occurred and this crash killed 131 out of 164 passengers. Now, pilots must undergo additional training to land at the airport. It suffers from extreme crosswinds at times due to its location in the Atlantic Ocean. With the runway being extended further into the ocean, this has only led to further exposure from Atlantic winds. Number 5. Gibraltar International Airport. There isn't much flat land in Gibraltar, a tiny British territory on the southern tip of the Iberian Peninsula. That's why the single runway at Gibraltar Airport crosses Winston Churchill Avenue, a major four-lane crossroad. Several times a day, traffic is halted so that jets can roll across the road as they land. As children, we all peered through a car door at the car window to look at an airplane fly through the air. At Gibraltar, you cannot just look at it go, but fear as it flies towards you. In addition to that scary phenomenon, the runway ends suddenly at the sea on both ends of the runway. While the typical wait is 10 minutes, increasingly air traffic has closed the road for as long as 2 hours on some occasions. Plans to reroute the road under the runway were announced in 2007, but as of late 2014, the project hadn't been finished. Number 4. Nasser Swak Airport, Greenland. Nasser Swak Airport, located in Greenland, is not only one of the most dangerous airports in the world, but also a real historical site. It is located in the southern part of Greenland, in the middle of the numerous fjords. The extension of the only runway is about 1,830 meters. The runway is not unlike the place it is situated at Frozen. The frosted runways are only one of the reasons the airport is feared by pilots. Amidst fjords, the airport is subject to harsh winds and fog that contribute to the unfavorable conditions for landing. On top of all the cold, there is also the nearby active volcano that erupts quite often, with the cascading ash damaging the engines of the airplane. With all these difficulties and the fact that time is also to be taken into account when landing, Nasser Swak Airport can be deemed as the most dangerous airport in the world. Number 3. Tonkotin Airport, Honduras. Tegucigalpa's Tonkotin International Airport in Honduras is one of the world's most dangerous airports. For people that have to fly in regular, the landing is an absolute nightmare. Passengers have flown through a twisted ravine before landing on a short runway. The airport received much notoriety as being one of the most dangerous in the world due to its proximity to mountainous terrain, its short runway, and its historically difficult approach to runway 2. For years, efforts have been made to replace it with Soto Cano Airport in Comayagua, currently an airbase. Number 2. Princess Juliana International Airport, Saint Martin. That's not a seagull, it's a jetliner, and it's coming in right over your head, but don't be alarmed if you're sunbathing in Saint Martin and you see a plane heading towards you. With a stretch of the beach located right before the runway, Princess Juliana Airport keeps people holding onto their heads. As the plane descends, it is only a few feet above the people's heads, and also greets them with an unpleasant gush of sand and wind. However, astonishingly, we haven't reached the dangerous territory yet. The main scare is the runway of only 2,179 meters, which is short of the 2,500 meters that is easily required for a cozy landing. Tourists love filming the planes, and some even purposefully stand where the jet engines blow them into the ocean. We don't recommend this. Number 1. Barra Airport, Scotland. Barra Airport has gained notoriety and reputation as one of the most dangerous airports in the world because its runway is a beach. High tide can disturb flight schedules, and sometimes cars in the parking lots have to turn their lights on to help pilots during landing. An exhausting work day leaves us fantasizing about flying away to calming beaches. Barra International Airport takes the phrase quite literally. Situated on the sandy bay of Trademore, the airport is just 5 feet above sea level. The runway is hence submerged in cases of high tide. This requires the aircraft to follow a strict schedule and only attempt a landing in particular conditions. Which of these airports got chills running down your spine? Would you dare take a flight at any of these airports? Let us know in the comment section down below, and if you have any suggestions, feel free to let us know. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of such videos. Also, give this video a big thumbs up. See you in our next video.